My entitled mom is upset because I don't like when she steals from me, by user throwaway blue squid. I hope I posted this in the right place. Anyway, I am F14 and I'll be 15 next month. My parents are separated and I live with my mom, brother, and older sister. For a little background, last year for my birthday I got around $300 from my mom's side of the family and $100 from my dad. All of this money was given to my mom as I don't have any debit cards, Cash App, or stuff like that because my mom thinks I'm too young to manage money. I planned on buying a pair of shoes and a hair dryer I've been wanting, so I was very excited about it. I asked my mom for the money and she kept telling me to be patient and that she'll give it to me, but after 2 weeks she claimed she'd lost access to it. I felt very irritated at first, but after almost a whole year, that was last February, I eventually got over it. Last month, a little bit before Christmas break, she told me that my dad had sent myself and my siblings money while we were driving home from a school. I asked her how much he sent and she refused to tell me because she wasn't going there with me, referencing to previous times she's stolen money our paternal grandparents gave my siblings and I. So I just called my dad and asked him, and he told me he gave all three of us $500 each. My siblings and I never actually got the money because she spent all of it, and she revealed that she'd the birthday L spent that too. She didn't even use it to get us a gift or anything, just $1,500 for her fucking self. When we got upset about it, she played victim and made us all go to our grandparents' house because we were affecting her mental health by being selfish and bullying her. I feel really angry and upset every time I think about it because every time I ask for things like clothes or new shoes, I've been wearing the same pair for almost a year, she blows up because she can't afford it, yet when I actually have money she just takes it all, leaving nothing for me. It's like she doesn't want me to have nice things, and that saddens me. My siblings and I are still here at our grandparents'. I just wanted to get this off my chest / put my feelings into words. 50 years old and my in-laws told me we're a guest in their home, by user Tats Recursive. We've been married for 15 years and are 50 years old. We were told that we are guests in their home and might not be invited back if we do not ask 3x before sitting down, if they need anything else. When we visit, we cook, clean, wait on them hand and foot. Meanwhile, they have a staff of house cleaners, lawn guys, and assorted other staff when we're not there or when other siblings visit. We work full-time jobs and make good money, but when we take vacation time to visit, we are treated like hired help. Not to mention that they hire people to clean before and after the siblings leave. We took 2 weeks vacation and they invited 8 of their friends and expected us to cook, clean, do laundry, fix drinks and wait on them. Then, tell us we are guests. Why don't they expect the same of their other guests? Not only that, they complain if it's not done to their standards. They never ask, they demand. While I enjoy spending time with them and helping out, it's not fun to spend our vacation time being their hired help. It doesn't feel like vacation. If my spouse gets fed up and comes up with excuses not to visit, they throw money at him to try and buy him back. They dangle money as a carrot and we ignore it. So, they give big gifts, like homes, to the siblings and their kids as revenge. We don't have kids, we have dogs. The treatment of us versus the siblings is way skewed. How do we approach this narcissistic and unfair treatment? My mother poisoned a dog and then took my phone away for protesting, by user LazarBeam_fan77. So, this happened a few years back, when I was 14. Our entire family was going on a holiday trip, by car. On the way there, next to the highway, there was a stray dog. My mom decided that she wanted to feed him. But, the only problem was that we only had chocolate cookies and a chocolate tablet as food for the trip. Me and my sister tried to keep her from getting to the food, but she dug her nails into my skin and snatched the cookies. While she was doing that, we were screaming, "Don't feed the dog chocolate, it's going to make him sick," and she just kept insisting that stray dogs eat everything and are super resilient, and that chocolate is only bad for house dogs. She finally fed the cookies to the dog, then the tablet. She then proceeded to take away our phones for being angry at her. We started crying, while our mom just laughed at us. On the entire ride to the destination, she played children's songs about dogs, just to taunt us. She still insists that she was right, and that we didn't want to give the cookies because we were greedy and didn't want to share. Edit: a lot of people wrote in the comments that dogs don't always die from chocolate. I know that, having looked it up after the incident, and that's why I avoided the use of killed. This still doesn't excuse her actions. If your kids can't behave, they don't belong in a movie theater, by user worst smell ever. Some parents really insist that kids will be kids and can't be disciplined at all, and it is not true. They are just lazy parents. Or selfish. In the off chance you do have a child with behavioral issues beyond your control, then you have to make some personal sacrifices. It's not everyone else's problem. If you know your kid can't sit quietly through a movie, then why take them to a movie theater? I went to see a kids movie recently and fully expected some level of craziness. It wasn't like for little kids or anything, but it was an animated film. I know that kids will make some kind of noise. However, I was sat by a family that was acting like they were in their own living room the entire film. Kids running all over the place, standing on chairs, invading people's space, talking, yelling, singing, screaming, etc. And the parents did nothing. No shushing, no reprimanding. Just ignored them and watched the movie. So happy for them that they deal with that bullshit enough at home to be desensitized, but I am happily child-free and didn't pay $12 a ticket and $16 for snacks to have a horrible experience and a migraine by the end of it. The kids were old enough to know better if they had been taught better, but I'm assuming they weren't. The theater was full of kids who were behaving themselves and weren't ruining the experience for everybody else. When there are children in a theater acting that way, it doesn't just fuck it up for the adults, it's also distracting for all the children who are actually behaving. I don't buy this excuse that kids will just be kids and that there is nothing parents can do about it. At the very least, you can choose to keep your kids at home if they don't know how to act in public. I feel like some parents behave this way because they believe that no one is going to say anything. What was I supposed to do? Interrupt the movie and bother people around us by confronting them in the moment, or missed parts of the movie myself by going and getting a manager and pulling a Karen? They do this shit counting on the fact that most people will say nothing. Or think that everyone else around them has the same ideology that kids will be kids and that because they are children no one should be bothered. Flat out entitlement. Not my fault you fucked raw. Edit, okay, I'm not checking the updates on this anymore. Some of y'all taking it a bit too far, acting like you have some personal stake in the matter. I chose the least confrontational route possible and just wanted to bitch online and then move on. I have no clue why any of you care whether or not I complained to the staff and got it fixed in the moment. I did not want to be in a confrontational situation at the time and I don't have to explain myself, but feel free to read my comments on the thread for clarification. Thanks. Besides that, thanks to everyone else who shared their experiences and gave advice. It's been really helpful. I feel like I can handle the situation better next time. Anyone who has parents who stick to their cultural beliefs even if it could lead to the death of their child, by user Mikhail_Te. Unfortunately, I began having seizures at the age of 13 as a result of a head injury, and still I was beaten and labeled as a cursed kid by my parents since what they valued most was their reputation and family name in the society. This suggests that their actions were impacted by others around them, including their culture, as well as other people's views of what constitutes to a good family. They also refused to allow me to seek medical care for my seizures for years, thinking that I would be unable to become a doctor and thereby jeopardize the family name. With all of this in mind, if we were to narrow down to see what has caused all of this, it is the preconceptions that people in my parents' culture believe, as well as the criticisms that people have of having a disabled child, especially if the child is female. Seizures were also frowned upon in our culture, and in past generations, they were regarded to be caused by the devil, which influenced my parents since they believed it would bring shame to the family if people found out. This is blatantly inaccurate and has harmed me in several ways. Rather than following in my parents' footsteps and accepting my fate of not fitting in with them and their culture, I decided to stand up for myself and escape, and now I am planning my future to become a neurology consultant to help those who have seizures, as well as to raise awareness about parenting and children with disabilities.